Hey guys, in today's video I want to briefly explain how I get better at my middle split holds. I've not been doing this a lot recently, but I have been practicing these for a few years on and off, and I've never really lost them, so this is how I do it. So for me, the approach is multifaceted. I need to increase my end range strength and I need to increase the amount of time I am able to tolerate under tension. So I use several techniques to do this. So I do quite a lot of isometrics and pals and rails so that I can increase my end range strength via these isometrics, where you can really control this. You don't have to force it too much with weight, and therefore it is nice and safe and completely within your control. Another thing that I do is I actually do add weight and I do distract myself. I guess that's the best way to explain it, by taking some weight off, making the pain more tolerable. When I say pain, I mean discomfort. It's not actually physically painful. It is just quite uncomfortable when you are holding your own weight at your end range for an extended amount of time. So one of the ways that I do this is through doing push-ups in the middle split, which seems kind of silly, but basically all it is I no longer have much of my weight on me because a lot of my body weight is supported by my arms, and by moving through this I am very much distracting myself and my brain is focusing on the part of me that is moving, and I can barely feel or notice my legs being able to sustain that position for longer. Another thing I love doing is pals and rails and isometrics. The pals and rails are, I'd say, the best place to start. And this is where I actually began this entire journey. The middle split holds, I would recommend if you're a beginner to just start with a nice and easy range so that you just feel the activation and the isometric control rather than the actual stretch, if that makes sense. So one of the main reasons I love doing this work is because of the carryover effects it has in other movements. So for example, this is great for adductors. If you have any issues with groin strain or adductor pain or low back pain, adductors can be a massive factor in improving these issues. So for me, when I had issues with my back pain from my car accident, I found working on my adductors, especially strengthening them, made a big difference. Another thing is squats. I've always been quite weak at squats, so I wasn't able to first get into the position to begin with, and once I could, I found myself finding it very hard. So actually by working on my adductors, which are a large part of the movement in a squat, especially a deep squat, I found this actually helped my squats as well. All right, so one of my favorite pals and rails is actually the butterfly pals and rails with the plates on both sides of my legs. But if I don't have that available, this is also a fantastic option, and this is the one I used to begin with. So you just start with a 2-minute hold in this stretch position, allowing your brain to accept it. It shouldn't be uncomfortable to the point where you're struggling with this position. It should simply be like a mild stretch that after 2 minutes turns into something relatively comfortable. From then we're doing the pals and rails. So we're going to do 15 seconds each way. You're thinking of scissoring your legs shut and squeezing them together for 15 seconds. And then you're going to do 15 seconds bringing your knees up. Okay, all right. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm simply going to distract myself so that I can basically be in this position for longer. So I'm going into what I find is a very mild stretch. And now I'm just gonna do a few reps. Okay. So the next thing I'm doing is simply my middle split isometric holds. I'm gonna do this first at a range that's very comfortable. So this isn't really even a stretch yet. I can just feel activation. So I'm gonna hold this for 10 seconds. I'm gonna do 3 rounds, each time going down a little bit lower. Okay. Have a little break. Okay, last one. So now I'm going to attempt the low version, and this is at least how I feel comfortable at the moment. And I've been asked several times, what do you think of when you do this? And are you thinking of going as low as possible? And the answer is no. You are not actually thinking of stretching or getting as flexible as you can in this position. What you're thinking of is scissoring your legs shut and being able to control the middle split position essentially as low as you're comfy to. So if I go any wider, I won't be able to contract with my capabilities at the moment. So I'm basically working on bridging the gap between how far I can go passively and actively. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please subscribe and check out our latest freebie in the description below.